item of cleanup is during your introduction of Cereza and the Copper Dragons to Metis, and then the goodbyes. Was there anything specific that anybody wanted to roleplay?
Yes, a bunch of things.
Okay, go.
So, this is the goodbyes? I thought we were going through the portal and then say goodbyes.
Right, so everybody has plane shifted back to the teleportation circle in Metis' lair, and introductions are being made, and then goodbyes are being said, eventually.
And
This is before I collapsed.
okay, Corwin is
we
still
are
alive.
we are going back in time slightly.
Okay, you have a lot of back noise, Nibbles. By the way,
Is it a fan? Do you have a fan on?
Not a new one.
maybe he's pointing in that direction.
I mean, I'm a fan of Nibbles.
I will lower it down slightly, see if that does anything.
No difference. Yes, it is that. So, jeez, right into the frying pan. I don't feel in character yet, but like Andrea will. Well, it's winter. Dang. She will be all sobbing, crying, and hugging everyone. Very long goodbye to Ares and take care of everyone. Call me if you need anything. And all that jazz. Also hug all the kids. And thank them for what they did to the Copper Fangs. I saw what you did.
They put on an air of innocence. Like, me? I didn't do anything.
Oh my god, you're so grown up. Start tearing again, and she get herself together a little bit for saying bye to Cereza. Gives a bow, says thank you for everything. Please take care of them.
He returns your bow, which is from everything that you had expected up until you actually met him. That is out of character for a Fae being.
Yeah, this has been a wild ride for Andrea.
Yeah, and he assures you that if anything smells weird, he will immediately get the kids to safety.
Thank you. I think that's it for me.
I think Lycra reaches out and sends a message to, I want to say both Adelon and his mother, but probably Adelon first, then his mother, essentially updating them on the details of what's happened since they lost contact. Possibly using 2 or 3 sending spells to info dump.
Okay.
Copper Dragon orphans, etc., etc.
You only have to use one on Adelon, as he is in the city and will meet you soon. As far as his mother, she accepts the information. She doesn't really have anything to offer in return.
I mean, I'm just hanging back, letting Andrea say our goodbyes.
Ty, Miss Katana?
Nothing for Corwin. He's just. Yeah.
Yeah, much the same.
Oh no. Estella does want to do something.
All right, give me 1 second. Miss was about to say something.
I was gonna say that she doesn't really have much to say.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. What does Estella get up to?
What's the name of the youngest girl? Willow?
Frantically searches through notes. Yes, Willow.
I'm going to. I have this new thing called Bone with Shadows. When you're in an area of dim light or darkness, you can use your action to become invisible until you move. That's not really what I want to do, but I want to like pull her to the side a bit and be really sneaky. Estella knows this is a terrible idea, but she's gonna do it anyway. She's gonna give Willow one of the flintlocks.
What? My flintlock?
One of them is mine.
Okay. You have given a baby a gun.
What could go wrong?
They're dragons. What's the worst that could happen?
Is there a reason? Like that you say aloud to the kid?
I tell her that it is dangerous, but it'll make a loud sound and scare the bejesus out of somebody.
She grins. Sorry, go ahead, Ty.
No, she's gonna point it at her sibling and be like, "Hey," and just pull it and be like, "I'm gonna scare them," and then they're gonna shoot their sibling.
Yeah.
She grins and says, "Yeah, it might be able to take out the eye of one of those monsters."
I was about to make that joke.
Yeah, she seems to have a good idea of what it actually does.
Okay, well, that's my bad idea for today. They are dragons of mischief and chaos, and
What's your passive perception?
19.
Give me a second.
This is like when I gave my boss's kid bubble wrap.
That's always a good idea.
As
long
He
as
didn't
you're
seem
about to
terribly
leave.
impressed with it.
Okay, in that case, roll me a d100. I want you to hit less than 50. You want to hit 50 or more.
Okay.
I think Chamey's a dragon of chaos and mischief.
I mean, she's a DM.
God damn it! Alright, well.
You're gonna have her use it now?
No. Just go ahead and mark off 2 gold, please.
Oh, okay.
I will get that thing away from you one of these days. Okay. With all of that housekeeping out of the way, who would like to tell us what happened last time?
We fought a bunch of Bahir. No, that was 2 weeks ago.
It was a
Many
week
weeks
of.
ago.
This was time skip stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a whole week of sorting things out, talking
Yeah.
about what we're gonna do. We tracked back the Bahir, finding nothing.
They tracked us, and that's about as much as we could glean.
And we decide on all the copper dragons are gonna stay with Cereza and the mountain, but at any sign of dangers, they have permission and their means to teleport back to Medes or the silver dragons.
Mm-hmm.
We have some conversation about what to do next. Andrea was like, should I stay? She ended up being saying no. We Stella found out like there's something about the giants like on the reach on Fanshera's side of things. That's very hard to investigate, but it's there.
No, it's in the Feywild.
Yeah, it's in the Feywild, yeah.
Feywild over the Weefy Islands.
Yeah. So it's like we should, at least Andrea was saying, we should do something, but like how and when it's in the gray area right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we jump back, like starting to think like, so what do we do next? We have a missing giant crystal ball.
And
That we
we
do.
use this scrying thing to get some information, and there's no information in the Feywild about it.
Yeah, it cannot scry through different planes.
Yeah, and you eliminated one plane from the checklist. And then everything we just went over happened.
Yep.
And as you exit Metis's lair, two things happen rather simultaneously. You see... Actually, you probably hear the city sort of reacting to it before you look up and see it. But there is a brilliant blue line streaking its way across the sky from east to west.
We were going like nowhere in specific, right? Like just like the equivalent of let's go and have dinner or something.
Yeah, I don't think we had actually established it. I was just assuming that you all were going to probably Lycra's house or something.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to fantasy dinner.
Yeah. And as this blue line streaks overhead, you all heard a thud from behind you and turned around to see Corwin's lifeless body on the ground. And I believe someone was about to cast Revivify?
No.
Do you not have a diamond?
No. I don't half-ass it.
Okay.
I don't have Revivify, I have Raise Dead.
Okay, you would be aware that Raise Dead is a much more involved casting. The casting time is 1 hour, and there's a ritual around it. I don't actually know if anybody in the party has Revivify, but if someone, possibly Liz, does, you would probably be aware that that would be a good first try.
Pretty sure Liz says it. Let me double check.
It also saves you 200 gold worth of diamonds.
Yeah, but somebody's gonna have to move faster than Lycra, because...
Well, Lycra can only move 1 hour fast.
Yeah.
Yes. But what I'm saying is she is immediately busting the diamond out of the bag that she has hidden behind her dragon scale choker, or necklace.
No.
Liz apparently does not have it prepped.
Ooh.
Mm.
Which is weird, because I thought she did.
Okay. So you begin casting this ritual right there in
Can
the street.
I'm gonna put my hand on Lycra's shoulder. Let's get him out of the street first.
And there's a moment of, eye bulge, panic, and she stops, and she swallows, and she nods, and she kind of grabs his shirt with two hands, and kind of looks to Andrea.
First, I'm gonna nod to Lycra. Give it a look at Medes. Like, does it have any reaction?
He's not with us.
Yeah, he did not come up with you. You could run
Okay.
back down and yell for him if you wanted to.
Okay, and all the kids and everyone came back, right? They're on the Feywild right at this point.
Yes, it is just the 6 of you.
Can I do a general perception check to see if someone shot him with something?
Okay, I'll give you perception to look around, or if you want to actually investigate the body, you can do that as well.
I think Andrea will be looking around rather than at the body. Like any suspicious anything.
Mhm.
Or not.
And anybody that you do notice around you is staring at the sky in various emotions: shock, amazement, horror, etc.
Is that blue line still there, or did it is it dissipating? Is it pretty solid?
It is fairly solid. I don't think it's been long enough for you to be able to tell whether or not it's dissipating. It just it's kind of like a contrail at this point. Like just a fresh contrail has appeared.
Right. And it's like, is it cloudy? Is it like blue? Is it a blue trail on blue sky?
It is a blue trail on blue sky, but they're different blues, and this one is kind of a cross between a fire and a sparkle, if that makes any sense.
Okay, and it's going east to west, you said?
Correct.
Okay.
Actually, let me message you a thing.
I think, Corwin, you might be eating a little bit of dirt, not popcorn.
No, I'm eating popcorn.
I know. I'm just saying. Lycra's currently trying to move you by herself, so it's kind of 2 feet. Breath. 2 feet.
We can say someone else is helping. I don't know. Like a She's or a Stella.
She has an 11 in strength.
More than me.
11, like a 10 is a normal human being. You can do
Corwin
it.
only weighs like 180 pounds.
Yeah, you both can do it. Chop chop.
Liz's invisible mage hand is helping.
Okay, so we are carting Corwin's body back to where?
Out of the
Meta's
street.
place. I gonna
Maybe
send.
the top of the, because Metis lives at the bottom of the
Yeah, you used to.
innards. There's like a little landing area where we fought those cultists, right?
Yeah,
Just drag him in there.
just
You
kind
don't
of out of the public area
Yes.
of the entire
Yeah,
city.
out of the street. Out of the street.
Okay.
Can I send the Meta's a message? And say like,
What's the range on message?
I don't know. I didn't want you to ask that.
150 feet, I think.
Okay, that one.
You have to run back down a bit, but yeah, you can get back into range for that.
I'll run back and say it's like emergency. Carmen is down. Help.
Okay.
I think with the effort and time of actually moving the body, Lycro's thoughts would clear up a little bit from the panic, and she would at least investigate the body.
All right. Let's get that. I would also let you use medicine if that's a higher roll than you wanted to.
No, it's 7 lower.
Okay. Yeah, there's nothing visible on. There's no blood escaping from anywhere. You don't see any wounds or like puncture wounds where maybe poison would have gone in. There's nothing obvious that has killed him.
And I think Lycra goes back to the ritual unless somebody else says or does anything.
Okay, Lycra's preparing the ritual. Yes, eventually, well, not eventually, after maybe a minute and a half.
Before Lycra gets too far, I want to use my Eldritch Sight to see if there's any magic that shouldn't be there.
Okay. Interestingly, there is no extra magic that shouldn't be there. There is, however, an absence of some magic that you are used to seeing on Corwin. We have described it previously as Corwin being a magical creature like Rizwin or Cathanet's Paladin.
Mm-hmm.
That is gone.
Do I think that would naturally disperse with the death of the body, or do I think something else might be going on here?
I don't think you have any way to definitively tell that information, so I will allow you to draw your own conclusions.
Okay.
Suggestion, Jamie.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps an Arcana check to see if you know about a spell that removes the person from the body temporarily. This is something Lycra would do if she had a brain, but she doesn't have a brain right now.
Well, yeah, I guess, like, do I know anything like that? Because the dream spell works something like that. Like, your consciousness goes somewhere else. Can the soul go? Like, can something cause the soul to go somewhere else?
You could make me an Arcana check. I think with a 12, you are not aware. And anything that removes your awareness or, whatever from the body does not leave it appearing dead. So when you are dreaming, you just appear asleep. Astral projection doesn't actually exist in this setting, does it?
I don't think so. I think it's too close to dreaming.
Okay. Yeah. But any spell like that sends your awareness somewhere else, the body still appears to be alive, either
Okay.
unconscious, asleep, meditating, that kind of thing.
Okay. I will wait for Metis to arrive then and let Lycra do her shtick.
Okay. He does eventually. He is able to cast Revivify. However, if you can provide the diamonds, he doesn't have any on him.
Lycra shoves her 500 into his hand.
Okay.
Wouldn't it have been more than a minute?
Yeah, but it's an hour.
No, Revivify.
That is a good point. Did anybody have Spare the Dying? Or not Spare the Dying?
Gentle Repose.
Gentle Repose.
Looks at Liz.
This is not what Liz is for.
Okay. Yeah, in that case, he just continues to help you set up the ritual. I will need 2 rolls from Lycra for this. First, make a spellcasting check.
I really wish they would do an easier way to do a spellcasting check. So it's D20 plus charisma plus proficiency?
Yes.
Yep.
And I think on your spell sheet at the top, I think you can click one of those, can't you?
Nothing under the spells seems to be clickable, no.
No, you just
No, sure it
just
doesn't.
do /roll 1d120 plus a spell attack modifier.
And what do you call it? Jack of all trades?
That's up the devils, I guess.
Doesn't spellcasting...
Jack of all trades only applies to things that you're not adding your proficiency bonus to. You are adding your proficiency bonus.
Right.
To it. So just d20 plus 9. Okay. And this applies to everybody going forward. When you are casting spells, please specify the level that you are casting at. And please make a d100 roll.
Yeah, I don't think I can outcast Raise Dead, but
That's ironic. Okay. We now shift to Corwin.
Hi.
As I said before, it's kind of weird to watch your body fall away from you. Before you hear your name from behind you, is there anything you're doing? You're just looking around?
I think he's just kind of going, huh? What? What?
Nani?
And then from behind you, you do hear a soft voice say, "Hello, Corwin."
I kind of turn around startled.
In front of you, you see a very androgynous, bald-headed, chalky white skin figure. They are wearing a tight-fitting black shirt and black trousers that flare out a bit at the knee. And on their feet are the most ostentatious golden shoes you have ever seen in your life. They don't say anything additional other than just greeting you. They're gauging you, waiting for you to say something.
Hello?
They look past you to you on the ground.
And I follow their gaze.
Strange. You have the smell of a god soul about you, but I don't see one.
What? He was kind of hanging out with me for a while. He was not in a good way. Dying? Question mark.
They regard you in what you might call a curious way, and they seem to think for a moment. I see.
What's going on?
Well, to be blunt, you are dead.
Huh?
You see a look on their face like they've suddenly realized something. You were directly connected to another god.
Uh-huh.
They look up at the sky. I believe that god's essence has left you. And the strain of such a thing was too much for your body.
Oh.
They glance again. The scene is moving in incredibly slow motion, but they now see some diamonds in Lycra's hand. They gesture towards that and say, "It seems you will not be dead for too long, however."
Oh, okay. Who are you?
My name is Mirkul, which you would instantly recognize as the name of the god of death, who is generally regarded as a boogeyman type figure.
Huh. So you don't seem nearly as scary as the text make you out to be.
People are, many would argue, rightly scared of death and find it difficult to separate me from the concept of death, which does tend to work to my advantage, but paints me in a less friendly light, shall we say.
Okay. So what now? I just kind of hang out and like, what happens when I get if Dogma's gone? What happens when I come back?
Well, they will be gone. Did they grant you some boon of some kind?
I was kind of with the magical powers because I had them in me, and we were kind of dealing with a lot of stuff out in the world.
Oh.
And I kind of relay the timeline of sort of what's kind of happened since Dogma came into my head. Since obviously things are moving in super slow motion, right?
Oh yes, you have
Hours.
hours, yeah, at least. Well, although you probably don't know that. They listen with what you would probably call rapt attention. Do you specifically mention the Mythalore at all?
I think, yeah, I think Corwin is like, well, if if one god just told me to make it, another god might know something about it, and this one
Okay.
isn't overtly hostile.
They are very curious about the Mythalore. They question you on it. Why you were making it, how you were instructed, that kind of thing. Is there anything that you would try to conceal?
I don't, no, I don't think so. I think it's kind of the case of, well, I got nothing to lose. I'm gonna get what information I can.
Okay. Increasingly throughout this conversation, they have the look of someone who is cracking a case wide open in their head. Everything is falling into place and starting to make sense. At the end of your, we'll call it a story, they nod. I see. In that case, well, as with anyone who is the subject of resurrection magic, you will be presented a choice. You can return or not. But if you do return, I'm afraid you will find that you are distressingly ordinary going forward.
Uh, is there anything I can do to I just being an archaeologist isn't really going to help my friends.
They regard you silently for a time. An extended time. Does Corwin break the silence at any point?
No, I think he's kind of just coming to the realization that he's dead. So he's just kind of just quiet now.
Okay. So as the scene continues to play out in slow motion around the two of you, after a good long time of silence, they speak up. There is perhaps an arrangement that could be made.
Okay, what would that entail?
I presume that you are familiar with the effects of a god being in proximity to your plane.
The whole breaking of reality thing? Yeah.
They nod. Well, I could give you a similar boon to that which was given to you by your previous patron, but it would leave both of us quite vulnerable.
But it would essentially let us stop what's happening.
Well, not so much stop as replace. You would continue, I assume, to have to be incredibly nomadic. Staying in any one place would yield the same, if not more acute effects than you have seen previously, considering that I am at my full strength.
Mm-hmm.
And you would remember that previously there was a way to reverse those effects if you want to inquire about that.
Yeah. He would.
They shake their head no. That is not something that would be within your power any longer.
So I would have to stay on the move after a few days.
Indeed. You would retain your full power as a magic user for a time, but I would ask in return that you do something for me, which I cannot do.
And what's that?
As I'm sure you're aware, in recent times there has been a vast amount of death in your world.
Mm-hmm.
This has had an unfortunate effect on my cleric in your world. They are one might describe them as being driven mad with grief. They have taken on a terrible visage and are acting indiscriminately, killing outside of their writ.
That's bad. Isn't the whole thing about you is you don't discriminate?
Exactly. My request would be that you serve as my agent and do what must be done to prevent her from continuing this reign of terror.
Would that include potentially putting her down?
I suspect that that is likely, yes.
Okay.
You will know her as Wershell. And they generate what could only be referred to as a hologram hovering above their hand, giving you the physical appearance of a woman. Um, trying to decide whether or not you need to roll to decide if this face is familiar.
Up to you. I'm fine either way.
Yeah, let's just make it like a 12 intelligence or history. Oh yeah. You have seen this face very recently. Although this depiction of her is lacking the wings, this is the woman that Estella confronted in the dream.
Could you remind the audience of which one does what?
It's the one that looked like Avison.
Oh,
How does how does he know who that looks like?
He dreamed it.
I think we all saw that. Like we,
No.
what? No.
Corwin is the only one that saw it in his dreams. The rest of you were your not selves during that.
Yeah,
day.
but I thought we saw it like on TV. It doesn't matter.
I think
Corwin saw it on TV. The rest of you did not.
I think Estella did talk about it a tiny bit.
Yes.
Also, for reasons.
Yes. They continue after describing her. As I said, due to the risk to both of us, this will not be a permanent arrangement. However, should you accomplish this, I am content to lend you power to accomplish your own goals as well.
He takes some time to consider it because he is literally making a deal with death.
And I think somewhere in the fine print, they are currently agreeing only to a year, but with an extension should there be something pressing on either side possible.
I.e., if the task is not completed, we can extend the lease.
Right. Either task. Whatever your task is, I think the only one they have heard you describe so far is recovering the Mythalar, but, you know, that part is left nebulous.
Yeah. He's basically saying he's not going to pull my power once we deal with Rochelle.
Correct.
Then, if there's an actual contract, Corwin will sign it.
There's not. They do hand you a strap of leather. About a half-inch wide, maybe 9 inches long or so. And there is a little piece of metal hanging off of it that is blank on both sides.
Like a charm or something?
Or like a name tag.
Kind of look at it.
It's a dog collar.
Not
Damn!
my god. Does
It
it
doesn't
have
ha-
a letter? Does
it
it give a
doesn't have
letter
your
jacket
name on
too?
What name does it have on it?
It doesn't have a name on it.
I kind of look at Mirkul's like,
Sorry that you cut off.
I kind of look at Mirkul and look at the dog collar.
I would say by this point it has been long enough that the ritual is nearing completion. They have moved your body back into the tunnel, and Metis is there, and Lycra is appearing to finish the ritual. And you see, behind everybody in the entrance to the tunnel, let me find the art. A rather large. Hello, roll 20. Sorry, roll 20 is being screwy. Okay, I'm gonna paste it in Discord.
Sometimes necessary.
Yeah, I don't know why roll 20 is the way that it is sometimes. You see that.
Hello, puppy.
Sure, little. It stands maybe 4.5 to 5 feet tall at the shoulder. Meanwhile, the rest of you are shocked as this creature comes out of nowhere.
Oh, wait, what?
And attempts to rest its head on Corwin's chest, making.
I feel like we should make some sort of check to see if we just immediately start shooting.
Okay, yeah. Whatever you'd like to decide.
I mean, some sort of devil dog drooling black saliva. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is making what could only be described as whining sounds. Like, if a dog is hurt or in distress and it goes, it's making that kind of noise. But it is running directly for Corwin.
It is running or walking?
We'll say trotting. It's not walking, but it's not just like straight out barreling either.
So,
I think like Andrea, visibly shaking, will stand in the middle, fighting position. No.
Okay, and like.
I think Lycra's hand freezes in the middle of one of the runes, and her eyes bolt over, and she just whispers, "Delay it."
Okay.
Because technically she can't stop.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, so the creature is within arm's reach of Andrea now. Does Andrea attack first?
It doesn't stop?
No.
Punch face.
Your fist goes right through it.
Banishment.
Punch, kick, banishment.
It essentially phases through Andrea as a ghost would, and your banishment. There's not a target there. This is a specter of some kind. It's not fully physically there.
This is a cleric.
That's true.
Can I cast suggestion?
Same result. There's nothing there for your spell to grab onto.
Andrea says, careful, this dog has blood armor.
So as you all through your various attempts, it reaches the edge of the ritual circle, and then very carefully steps over the circle so as not to disturb anything, and lays down next to Corwin with its head resting on his chest. Back in Death World. Time is starting to move. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Estella thinks, Dogma?
No.
No.
Time for you, Corwin, is now moving a little faster. It seems the moment of your decision is fast arriving.
He accepts.
Okay. And as Laker completes the ritual, Corwin's eyes open. What does the tag on the collar now say, Corwin?
I'm actually thinking of that right now.
Haha. I've made you name an NPC this time.
I think the second the ritual ends and his eyes open, Lycra just snatches him into a too tight and it hurts hug.
Hang on. Let me do my thing first.
Yeah.
Just the dogma. You know what? Never mind.
Yeah.
Big dog.
He's a good boy.
Mirkir. It's Icelandic for dark.
All right. So you wake up. You have the collar in your hand, and
Right.
are pulled into a incredible hug.
Oh.
What the absolute fuck?
I can't breathe.
And I think she slowly lets him back and does an actual medical once-over, despite how she knows the spell has side effects.
Roll me a perception.
Oh my god.
Also roll a medicine check, please. You detect no diseases, curses, or similar effects.
Or a pulse.
You find a new black leather jacket on him.
Nope, just the collar.
Now, boo.
Yeah, and Corwin, you do have a -4 penalty to all rolls.
Yep.
For reduced by 1 every time you finish a long rest. And are currently at 1 hit point.
Yeah, that's fine. Actually, anyone who's looking at Corbin can roll perception. I want you to get above a 15. His eyes that were previously amber are now ice chip blue. Those of you that notice it immediately. And he's just kind of trying to get out of Lycra's grasp and deal with the slobbering devil dog in front of him.
Is the slobber black?
Yes.
Yeah. There is not really much to deal with. The dog is fairly calm.
I pet him and go, "Who's a good boy?" and put the collar on him.
Okay. You do need to deal with the massive slobber that's now up your face, but sure.
I just kind of. I test prestidigitation and try to prestidigitation it away.
Assuming that is a spell that you
That is
still
a
have.
spell I still have, yes.
Okay, it does in fact work.
Well, that works.
Welcome back.
Oh,
Two things. Liz is casting Detect Magic. Yeah, that's the first thing she's gonna do.
Okay. Yes. You. Have you cast Detect Magic on Corwin before? I don't remember. Or when he was around?
Well, he's been around, yeah.
Okay. You would notice Corwin appears unchanged. I don't think, unless Estella said it out loud, were aware that that aura had disappeared from him briefly. The dog doesn't exist to your Detect Magic sight, but the collar does. The collar is quite brilliant.
Okay. Second thing, Liz goes through her deck of cards and finds the one that Corwin is on to see if it has been changed to match these new eyes.
It has not changed, no.
Corwin is now someone Liz trusts.
Is or isn't?
Isn't.
Okay.
I would say that you have noticed in the past, like if someone gets a haircut or something, the card also doesn't update. So you can do with that whatever you wish. I don't think that necessarily needs to change, but you know.
Part of the reason why Liz is here is the fact that nobody she's known has been on her deck of cards.
That's a good
on her
point.
cards.
Yeah.
So this is not something Liz knows.
Okay, yeah, you are correct.
I will go give Corwin a little bit of a hug. I've got my eye on the dog still.
Okay.
So what the fuck?
can we not speak here? Maybe someplace a little bit.
We're
little what?
inside Meta's place, right?
Just inside the mouth, yeah. It's fairly quiet here.
I mean, it was until Stella started shouting.
Well, yes, but Corwin appears to be under the impression that it is not fairly quiet here.
You guys hear whispering or something?
I give everyone a look.
He's just kind of, it's like he's groggy and distracted. And
Lycra offers a shoulder to help walk him into a proper place to sit down.
I look at Mirkur and just say, "Go home."
He walks to the other side of you and sits down.
You know he's a summon that lasts for 5 minutes, mechanically, right?
Yeah.
Mechanically versus RP wise, I guess.
Fair enough. No,
sure. I will just let you know, RP wise, he is now your link to Miracle.
Okay.
So he can be used in combat for 5 minutes at a time, but he's not going away.
Okay, fair enough. And I guess subconsciously, Corwin's hand just starts petting him as he sits in a chair.
He is ethereal at the moment. We will say that your go home command has rendered him ethereal. That will be the difference between when he's available and not for combat.
Okay, fair enough.
Flavor argument.
Mm-hmm.
Corwin can just barely feel him when he's ethereal, but he's also barely visible unless you're looking directly at him.
Yeah, that's fair.
In
I
other
would
words,
say more than barely, like kind of ghostly.
Yeah. In other words,
Yeah.
people just notice a large dog out of the corner of their eye. They don't see slobbering shadow dog unless they're looking directly at it.
Right.
Just so that way Corwin doesn't feel self-conscious about walking around town in 5 minutes. Sorry.
It's not that invisible.
Sorry, extra self-conscious.
Yeah. On the plus side, the drool just kind of disappears into nothing rather than pooling on the floor.
I think Corwin just settles in. So I died.
Of reference for everybody else, he is still at 1 hit point and kind of is acting and looks like it.
So don't squeeze him too hard.
Too late.
So you're saying this is the perfect time for Liz to kill him if we were playing that type of game?
If we were playing that type of game.
The best time to kill a player when they die. Also, I don't know if you saw the picture I sent that in Forgotten Realms Miracle with a U. It's Lord of the Bones. That's very fitting for a dog.
Bones.
Wow, 14 for a level 5 cure.
Please roll D100. I should not have closed this. Okay. Are you missing any hit points currently?
Me?
Ye.
No, sorry.
Okay. Never mind then.
Does that heal and pass?
Sorry,
So
what did you say?
14 hit points in total?
Yes.
Yeah, 14 hit points for Corwin.
I feel
kinda
like Andrea just looks at Stella like shrug.
I kind of
I
just
am.
get everyone to sit down.
Yeah, I am as patiently as I can waiting for an explanation.
Kind of look at Metis primarily. Ogma's gone.
He nods solemnly.
And the stress of him leaving killed me.
Gone how?
Gone. That's what I was told. He's gone. When I was kind of standing there watching you guys freak out over my corpse, I met with Death, the god of death. Miracule.
You have also all heard of this individual, similar kind of boogeyman, like the Grim Reaper, but sinister connotations.
And he's kind of invested in what we're doing.
For reference, they go by they, them.
They're kind of invested in what we're doing.
I think Lycra starts to go, oh, great, another god that's. But she kind of only starts to make that expression like she's going to start that rant, and then kind of swallows and looks back to him. Interested.
In a
Positively?
good way.
Okay. Positively is a good thing.
They're willing to help me continue to be useful. Because if I came back without that, I would just have been me before Ogma. But there's also a catch. You know all that death and destruction that's happened recently? You know, like a whole
Specifically
island
referring to
blowing up.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
That kind of drove their cleric insane. And we need to deal with her. I need to deal with her. And I know who she is. His eyes turn to Stella. You remember that woman with the wings?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, her. She's not. Death should be indiscriminate. Shouldn't care if you're a saint or a sinner or a king or a pauper. She's taken it on herself to decide who dies.
Just
Is that kind of how it was described
yeah,
to me?
not really a correction, but it's more like she is taking people whose time it is not.
Hmm.
She's being more indiscriminate than death should be.
Okay, yeah, she's basically just killing willy-nilly without concern
Correct.
to their destiny.
That is correct.
Which could really, really mess up reality. So they lent me a portion of their power, and I comes with all the things that Ogba gave me, kind of with the whole reality breaking thing. Only I don't really have a way to stop it now. So I'm gonna have to be moving on in a few days.
What?
Estella just closes her eyes and rubs her forehead and
Yep.
And I may have misspoken here, Cathanid. The reason I said that is because I was assuming that you don't necessarily have spells that do divine
healing.
divinity, whatever. Do you
Uh,
in fact actually have that?
I have Mage Hand, Chill Touch, Shocking Grasp, Frostbite, Major.
What am I trying to say? Radiant damage? Is that radiant damage or healing magic?
Mm-hmm.
Not currently, no.
Okay, yes. So you would understand that it's not that doesn't work. It's just that you don't have access to something that would do it anymore.
Okay, I have no spells in my brain now that counteract that effect.
Right. Correct.
Do I know if Liz's spells will do it?
I don't remember if you checked that before. I'm gonna say no because I don't think you had. Like, you don't have access to any spells that would do it, right?
Me, no.
Yeah. I don't think anybody until Liz arrived would have had access, and since Liz arrived, I don't think you've tested it.
So Lycra does have healing magic, no radiant. Would Estella ever have noticed / looked for that?
To my knowledge, it's not specifically been brought up in game, so I'll say that no, it has not been checked so far.
It's a puzzle for you guys to work on.
What do you mean, you guys?
That was out of character.
Oh, because you already know the answer.
No, I don't. At all.
I don't think anybody knows the answer.
I just literally have no radiant spells or healing spells anymore.
Well, we'll have a few days to do some tests.
Actually, Nibbles, there's one spell that might count.
Mm-hmm.
I'll link you the 5e tools for it.
Okay.
So, if you're still experiencing the same effects, does that mean the god of death has got room and board in your soul?
No,
There is a soft woof from the dog.
I
next to
think
Corwin.
room and board is more located over here.
I look at the dog with raised eyebrows.
Woof.
It's Corwin, a motel for gods.
I don't know what I am now. Other than incredibly tired and have a really bad headache.
I mean, you feel 14 times better than you did a minute ago.
Also, are you sure you guys don't hear any whispering?
Lycra stops and listens.
You
Sorry.
do not even need a perception check. You do not hear whispering.
Tell the god of death to shut up.
Maybe just tell him to turn the volume down a little. He might not be as good of a neighbor as Ogma.
Hey,
So-
Nibbles.
What?
Yeah, go ahead, Ty.
Liz goes and does a tarot reading, even though I don't think we've ever established it does anything.
Okay.
Pretty sure we've established it doesn't do anything, actually.
Yes, it does not. You could use that to cast Divine Intervention if you wanted to, though.
What else are you gonna
Guess
use
she
it
could-
on today?
I guess she could try and figure out it's basically what the fuck is going on through tarot reading.
Sure. Remind me, Divine Intervention is a feature, not a spell, correct?
Correct.
It is a class feature, yes.
That is not a success?
I haven't rolled it.
Oh, sorry. Oh, no, that was Lycra, sorry. I saw 15, I'm like, wait, that's really low.
Still wouldn't have been a success, though.
Yeah, it's got to be...
Not a success. That was not supposed to be to GM, though. It was a 46.
Yeah, you received the similar no response to what you're used to receiving, all but that one time. Andrea was saying something.
No, I think she's flabbergasted.
Hmm.
I think the most sense that she could make was like whispering to Ashish, "Hey, what does it feel to be the normal one in the group?"
I look over at Metis. Do you have any fucking alcohol?
I do. I give you a bottle of whiskey and a bottle of wine. Your choice.
I'll take the wine. Take some, pass it around. I think we could all use a bit of this right now. Not you, points at Corwin.
I wasn't gonna ask.
Lycra takes his shot.
Well, that's my last bottle. I need to buy more.
I need
Who took the
to.
wine?
I did.
Okay, I wasn't sure if it was a bottle of whiskey or a bottle of wine.
Both.
It was an option of a bottle of whiskey or a bottle of wine, right?
Yep.
Liz reaches out and takes the bottle of whiskey.
Yep. There's not a lot left.
Everybody's getting crunk.
So, I don't know about anyone else, but I need to come up with 500 gold to replace the diamonds. I might need to be able to talk to my sister about that.
Oh no, that's right. You did use all 500. Yeah, you can have a look around. We can probably rustle something up for you.
I could also do some shopping.
What else does everyone need to deal with immediately? Because I think that's one of the has to be done first items.
I think Corwin's starting to fall asleep in his chair.
Yeah, and you all are fairly tired. It is past the evening meal at this point, so that might be more of a tomorrow activity.
Lycra kind of puts her cloak over Corwin while the others are talking.
Do you, Mr. Midas, sir, do you have a guest room where he can sleep tonight?
Of course, you're all welcome to stay. And he turns around and begins leading you back down.
I thought we were already down.
No, you were on the landing, kind of at the top. So there's a tunnel that goes down under the city and then opens up into the lair. You were right at the end of that tunnel.
We go from down to down, down.
Yes. Find 2 types of land and name them accordingly.
Yeah. Does the dog follow? I'm gonna piggy ride Corwin and take him to bed.
Yep, the dog is never more than a few feet away from Corwin.
Give me the heebie-jeebies.
Woof.
While I'm walking, I say to the dog, "So, do you know Logan?"
He does the the head turn thing.
Okay. Extremely doggish to think that all dogs know each other.
All right. Oops, sorry, good.
Once everybody gets settled, I'm gonna pull Metis aside, but people want to do stuff before then.
Yeah, there's food is available to everybody and beds, should you wish to use them.
Lycra sets up a chair outside of Corwin's room.
Okay.
I bring Lycra a tray with hot dinner.
She eats and seems appreciative, but she also looks. Either she wants to punch something, or she wants to just walk into the woods.
Some food is forced upon you, Corwin. I'd assume after that you just pass out. Yeah.
Yep.
Go ahead, Quest.
Nothing else.
Okay. Stella.
I'm kind of wait for everybody to settle down or go to sleep, and we go hang out in Metis's room.
Mhm.
What the fuck?
Metis doesn't really seem to know what to say. He also has a similar what the fuck expression.
When he said that Ogma is gone, like, do you have anything, any way to tell if he's like gone somewhere else, or
Nothing has changed, but then again, I haven't heard Ogma's voice in several hundred years. Mechanically, nothing has really changed for him. He's never been able to cast Divine Intervention.
Right.
Other than that, no change.
I guess I'm just worried that, like, we all knew that he was fading, but to just like blink out of existence all of a sudden seems, I don't know, I'm just worried that something else happened.
As you say that, you realize that there was something else going on at exactly the same time that this happened.
Oh, fuck the lines! Stella goes rushing back up outside.
Does Stella like run, just bolt all the way back
Oh yeah,
upstairs?
like, if you had been like up and kind of aware, you would have heard her say, "Oh fuck the lines."
Liz is probably following after you then, because she barely sleeps.
Mm-hmm.
Let's also deal with the fact that a god can apparently possibly could die. Kind of a thing that a cleric wouldn't want to hear.
Okay, so you rush back to surface. Liz is with you. Was anybody else alerted by this scream?
Say Winter it's caught up training outside. Like if the line's still there, she don't mind them. Like because no one pay attention to them, she thought, oh, must be normal, and do their business. That night is training time.
Lycra draws her sword and moves the chair slightly inside of the room that Corwin's sleeping in, but otherwise she stays there.
Okay. Yeah, so you reach the surface. So because it is night, the fiery, sparkly aura is still visible in the sky. I will take a... at this point, I will take a perception check from anybody there. I would also like an arcana check from Liz.
Cool.
So, as far as you can tell, Estella, the lines have increased in intensity since you last saw them.
Okay.
Liz, however, appears to be having a revelation. Let me give you this information. There you go.
Gonna say that Andrea doesn't roll. Like she thinks this is normal still.
Jeez, I barely pulled this off.
Oh, yeah. Just ignore that last part. I just copied it directly out of my notes. You don't know what the DC was.
I know it was less than 13, 20, 23 or lower. That's the ley line.
Okay.
Aren't those not invisible here?
Up until now, they have been, yes.
I ask out loud to the Earthlings.
I mean, my parents, my father's worked on making sure they were good and strong and in place, and I know that line.
Is it supposed to be floating in the sky?
I'm gonna go with no.
Correct, no. Do you basically share the information with everyone?
Well, with those two.
Well, yeah, with those.
She's speaking out loud, and I'm guessing, I'm guessing Estella prods her for information.
Mm-hmm. Yes, please keep going.
So Liz describes to you the project that her fathers had worked on when they were both still alive. One has since passed, which is why Liz is now the cleric for their god. And essentially, it was a vast magical spell that reinforced the ley lines and made magic easier to use for the common person. And Liz has the working theory that what you are seeing here is this reinforcement being burned away.
Did their parents finish the spell, or it was still on the works?
Yes, this was something that was completed long ago. Well, a couple hundred years ago.
Do we all draw magic from ley lines?
Guessing Liz believes so.
To one degree or another, and I'm making stuff up here, so if you have a problem with any of it, let me know. But yes, to one degree or another, any type of casting is reliant on the ley lines to some degree. There may be other factors at play, but they do get involved.
I would like to activate my Eldritch Sight
Okay.
and cast Druidcraft.
What level is Druidcraft?
It's a cantrip.
Okay. That all happens. Nothing.
I don't
is
see anything weird.
Nope.
Why are you growing flowers at a time like now, like this?
I'm looking at you friggin' ley lines. Well, I'm gonna cast Mass Suggestion then.
What level's that?
6.
Okay, please roll D100.
I also kind of want to know what she's suggesting.
Yeah, like who are you targeting? What is the suggestion?
Oh, hang on. There. I I assume that there's like a few other people around. I don't need a like maybe 3.
There are the guards that stand watch here, and we can say that there's a random drunk or 3 wandering around.
I suggest to everybody that they should lean down and pick up a rock.
Okay. What is your DC is 18? Okay. So what you notice is as you're casting the spell, it looks as you would probably expect, but unkempt. There are wisps jutting out in places where they shouldn't necessarily be. Everything works as normal. What the rest of you notice, and I assume Estella will figure out in a second, is as she casts this spell, all of her hair falls out.
No!
What?
There is pitter pat like rain as her braids hit the ground.
I look at Liz and Andrea. We have to fix this.
Andrea kind
And
of do the sneak like.
I'm gonna try a combination of Druidcraft and Prestidigitation to make my hair grow back.
Liz is holding out her cloak.
I don't know how to do the math, so I will just tell you there is already a little bit of growth there because they grow back. It grows back completely within 24 hours. So
Okay.
Oh, I was gonna pay Miss to edit your art.
I mean that is still welcome, as I would think it hilarious, but it is not a permanent thing. But yes, there are now vines on your head, I guess.
I mean, I'm
So
trying to make it be hair.
do you grow grass on your
So,
head?
Moss. She has a moss buzz cut now.
Wow.
Oh,
Someone is very upset at me because I'm not paying attention.
So I guess
Liz takes the hair.
Andrea would ask, "Why you do that for?
What did I do what for?
Taking your hair out."
I sure didn't.
I think that, especially because you have Eldritch Sight
Mm-hmm.
up, you would be able to figure out that this is a side effect of the unstableness of the spell.
Yeah. I think we all might be contending with strange effects. As long as it's like points up at sky.
I think we need to do some testing here.
I don't want my hair to fall off.
Well, it's a good thing you don't have spells then.
Liz casts Bless at level 1.
You are now blessed.
Technically, we're all blessed.
Blessings.
That was fine. Nothing happened.
Liz casts aid at level 2.
You now all have a D4?
We all have 5 temporary hit points.
Ah, yes.
Please stop trying to make
No.
my hair fall off.
You can leave if you wish.
I'm joking. I'm making it's a joke.
Okay, yes, you all? Or one person? No, you all have 5
No.
temporary hit points.
No, actually, we all have 5 extra health.
Ooh,
I should use that more often.
nice. Yeah, you all have 10 extra temporary hit points.
Liz makes everyone a snack and dinner.
I assume this is a 3rd level spell.
Yeah, level 3.
Please roll a D100. Please roll another D100, as we've already had that one.
Roll again.
Nope. For the next minute, you have +2 bonus to AC and are immune to magic missile. The rest of you see, like, a shield hovering behind Liz's head, kind of like spiritual weapon, but this is spiritual shield.
Did the Eldritch, did the eyes detect that something happened there?
Yes, they're similar wispies.
Interesting.
The snack does also appear though,
and some water. What's interesting?
Your points at shield.
Looks behind her. Where did that come from?
I think from the ley lines. Or from the... So I guess spells of a certain strength come with some added stuff.
So, when you like burn oil, soot gets everywhere, right? Is this
Mhm.
magic soot affecting us?
Ew.
you all
I-
think that that's a decent analogy.
Yeah. Well, Liz, you are the expert on ley lines. What do we do? Besides just live with the consequences when we need to cast big spells.
So,
I
go ahead. I'll give you information if you need some.
I think I know what Liz would do. I don't know if Nibbles wants to do it.
I am prepared for anything and everything, although sometimes that preparation might take a week.
I want to go ask my dad.
Physically?
Yeah.
Okay.
Liz is feeling outside of her knowledge base here and wants to go find an expert.
Are you going right now?
We should go ask my dad. He knows better.
I feel like this might be important to do.
We should go or you should go? Because you can You can fly, right?
I mean, I can just teleport there.
Oh. Okay. We can come too then.
Do you want to come?
I don't know. I don't know if we should be dragging Corwin across the continent right now.
I mean, we could just. We can go right now and then come back.
I don't know if it's a good idea to go very far away without warning them.
Wait for the morning?
I'll rephrase that. I don't know if it's a good idea to go with them alone, leave them alone at this point. I don't know.
I'm sure that if any danger comes for Corwin, that Metis can protect him. Although I don't know if we're gonna get Lycra to leave him behind.
How long's it been?
It's still the middle of the night,
But like 3 hours?
3 a.m., 4 a.m.
No,
Okay, so it's
not
probably
even.
been 3 hours then, because it's.
Well, no. It's probably more like 1 a.m., honestly.
I think
Because you were saying that it was fairly early still, right? So.
Mm-hmm.
I think Lycra's not yet sleeping, but is starting to fight sleep in her chair.
Mm.
Outside opinion, let's all go so Blair doesn't get behind.
Say that again, please.
Let's all go so the player doesn't be left behind.
Maybe we should just wait and talk about this in the morning. Aside from Corwin just up and dying, I mean, nothing else seems to have happened. The city's not on fire. There's not demons raining from the sky. I think we're safe to go to sleep and deal with this in the morning.
You kind of cut out there, Quasta.
Yep.
Liz?
Yeah, okay, we can do that. I think Liz is just lost in thought, looking up at this the ley lines burning.
That's basically watching your dad's life work burning away, right? That doesn't have to feel fine.
Liz is an arcane mage or arcane cleric. That's her god's work being burnt away.
Yep.
Okay, I will lead them both back inside.
All right.
Before I fall asleep, I'm gonna cast Dream.
I believe that's a 3rd level spell.
It's a 5th level spell.
Ah, jeez. Well, roll a d100.
I have a question
Hmm.
about that. All of her spells are 5th level spells.
That's very true.
Mm-hmm.
You might want to macro
Aside from the
D100.
cantrips.
Oh no. Well, you'll have to deal with a 10-foot square of grease in your room when you wake up. But
Oh, gross. I will just-
actually it probably disappears after a minute.
Estella will
Yeah.
use that as a reason to go sleep with Metis.
Whoa.
Oh, come on! Like we all didn't know.
I think it doesn't happen until, because as casting dream, like falling asleep is part of the spell. So
I don't fall asleep.
yeah, that's true.
I think thematically it happens. The grease
Yeah,
is there when
like,
she wakes up.
You have
Yeah.
to be unconscious for it, though.
Yeah.
Like, you become unconscious as part of the spell. So what happens is, your room is covered in a 10-foot pool of grease that disappears after 1 minute, and you never notice.
Oh, okay.
Maybe there's a faint lingering
It
smell
smells
in the
a little.
morning.
Yeah, it smells
Yeah,
a
a
little
little
funny.
rancid.
Yeah, you smell like bad bacon.
Mm,
Okay.
Before you get too deep into the dream,
I don't think anything's gonna happen.
yeah, all it is about an hour, because it was about 1ish earlier and she was nodding. At 2, Lycra goes into the room, finds out which side the dog's on, and goes to the other side of the bed and sets up her sleeping roll that side of the bed.
Okay.
And then she goes to bed unless someone replaced her earlier.
No, I don't think anybody has.
Yeah.
We'll come back to that. Estella, anything in the dream or just?
I am targeting Ogma.
Ah.
Because if he's out there somewhere and not sleeping, I should feel different from if he's not out there at all.
Does Nibbles need a 5-minute bio break to think about this?
No, but if other people need a 5-minute break, we can certainly have one.
I could use one.
Okay, let's do it. Although we don't have that much long left, but let's just do it. Yeah.
Hello?
Hello.
People are taking a bathroom break.
Ah, okay. I had to answer a phone call. I only can picture now Corwin entering their emo/metal face, everything wearing black.
Sorry?
I can only imagine now Corwin entering their metal/emo face, everything black.
No. Not necessarily.
Yeah, I know, but that's the image that I have stuck in my head all this time.
It's just when he sees a red door, he wants to paint it black.
Lol.
He just happens to be Death's representative now.
He wants to go to some sort of black parade.
I am far too old to be emo.
And now all I can picture is the business card instead, since he is the mature adult. Yes, rather, I am Corwin, Death's representative in this matter.
Also lol.
Thank
I'm
you
back.
for laughing. Welcome back. How is cough?
Still coughing.
So?
COVID cough, post cough.
Yeah.
I hated that so much. I feel you.
Yours is mostly gone?
Yeah, it's gone. It lasted for like 3 months, and it straining me with a muscle problem in my stomach that still hurts. I need to take pills for that.
Yeah, ages ago my roommate had bronchitis so bad he pulled out his back, so I have definitely heard those kind of stories.
Hey, a friend is coming over to deliver me something. Uh, it's like in 5 minutes. They need to just go down and grab it and come back.
No worries.
I am also waiting for tea to boil, so.
I have returned. Taking my headphones off was an experience.
Mm.
Did you hear through time?
I can hear my pants rubbing against my leg while I walk.
Oh yeah,
It's awful.
you were really clogged.
I will, to spare anybody who might be squeamish, I will message you a description.
No. Ugh, tomorrow I need to go back to the office.
Is that permanent again, or is it until they change their mind again?
Weekly. Permanent and weekly. Like 1 week home, 1 week in the office.
Well, it's still better than permanent.
Yeah. Ew, nibbles.
It was awful. I don't know how I hadn't had completely clogged hearing before that.
But don't get any details. I'm assuming a plug of some sort.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Thank God you can do it by yourself. Like, as I said again, I've never been able to do it that myself. It's not that terrible to do, but I cannot do it. I never works out, so I need to go to doctor and say, do a washing.
I just used one of these things. How do I copy an image off Amazon?
Right, copy, image, paste.
No, it wasn't letting me for some reason.
Just link the whole product because I would actually like to know what you're using.
Just fill it up with water as hot as I can stand, and then
Oh, yeah.
just squish it in there. Took me like 4 goes.
I used one of those things in a earwax cleaner solution for like freaking 9-10 days before I finally went to the walk-in. It helped.
Yeah, I've
but
had
it
to
never
go to the
cleared.
walk-in before, but luckily it worked this time.
I know what those are because I don't know internet culture, but I had never seen them actually here in Chile.
The funny thing is, the first time I saw one was on an episode of Scrubs because his kid had a booger.
Yeah, they also use them to like suck stuff out of kids' noses and stuff,
Oh
right?
yeah, yeah. I've seen it. That's very, very gross.
Whom are we waiting on?
I believe we were waiting on tea.
Mist. That goddamn mist never arrived on time.
So talkative. Always screaming about this, screaming about that. Mostly it's feed me for some reason.
Animals, as I said to the other guys, I need to go and grab a package in about, I want to say, 3 minutes.
Okay.
Actually, I'm gonna go now. So, talk to you in like 5. Bye.
Okay. Just a random thing while we're waiting. Thanid, are you here?
Yeah.
Do me a favor and flip a coin, or roll 1d2.
Do you want it public or do you want it whispered?
Public's fine. 1 is funny.
One.
No, okay.
You know, if you want something to happen, you can just make.
Yeah, if you want the funny thing, I don't care. Do the funny thing.
We'll see. Also, Ty, at the end of your sentence, your mic did a weird thing. Are you still with us?
Yeah, I started. I have this bad habit of pulling my plug headset out.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like.
I am back. I have tea.
Welcome back.
Are we waiting Quasta's
Yes.
friend?
Mhm.
Okay.
So, a hempen rope that's 50 feet weighs 100 pounds or weighs 10 pounds in D&D.
Yeah.
Actual 57-foot rope of 100 or 800 pound test hemp rope is less than a pound.
There's one thing I've learned about games and video games is things like weights are made up and don't matter.
And there's a chance that that's because of modernization.
Twisted hemp rope is twisted hemp rope as far as I know. I don't think it's changed much in the last 1,000 years.
I'd actually think it would get heavier because they'd be twisting it better than they used to be able to. If
Yep.
anything.
It needs to be denser.
I have just learned that apparently Lemmy of
Motorhead?
Thank you, was a roadie for Jimi Hendrix?
Yep.
Did not know that.
I need to go back and listen to some classic Motorhead. Never really gave him enough credit.
It's time to play the game.
Strangely, my brain went straight to Insomnia, Crazy Train, as the two songs that popped to my brain, because brains are weird.
Neither of those are Motorhead songs.
I know.
That's why it's weird.
Nibbles, have you ever seen the documentary Metal: A Headbanger's Journey?
I have not.
You should watch it. It's a fellow did it as his master's or PhD thesis in anthropology, cultural anthropology, and is sort of tracking the evolution of metal from its roots to the modern day. It's absolutely fascinating.
I will see if I can find it.
Didn't get requested it on Plex. You might have put it up there. Just it exists. He also did a follow-up one, which was called Global Metal, which was sort of how metal is evolved and changed throughout different
It
regions
sure
of
is
the world.
there.
I hear a T-sip.
Slurp.
You're waiting on Quas to get back.
I still can't taste the mint.
Hmm.
Oh, one day.
Rob Zombie was in both Guardians of the Galaxies?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Tom Morello was in Iron Man?
ZZ Top was in Back to the Future 3.
I mean, that's appropriate. Tom Morello was one of the insurgent type people that was shooting a gun at Tony while he exited the cave. He was literally raging against the machine.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
He was also in Domino.
The Keira Knightley movie?
Yeah.
Huh.
He's the Wanderer.
Oh, yes, I did know that.
I am back.
Welcome back. Is everybody else back?
Present.
I believe so.
I believe so.
Meow.
I?
It didn't leave anywhere.
Okay. Yes, so the question that I should have been thinking about and didn't think about at all.
Mm-hmm.
It's difficult to describe. The spell does fail.
Which spell? Ah, dream.
The dream. It's like there's no target, but it's not exactly that there's no target. Is weird.
Which target was Agma?
Yeah, Agma.
The caller is unavailable. Please try again later.
It's more like if we're going to liken it to a phone call, you have attempted to call somebody that is on a different phone service than you, and they're not connected.
Okay.
The number you have tried to reach is outside their area of general cover.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, okay.
So I'm
I'm
hearing
not
is
explaining this very well.
you have to try Agma after 9 p.m. So you roll 3 minutes.
No, it's more removed than that.
Have
I
you
get what you're
tried?
saying.
Relax the trunk
It's
country code.
like how the scry spell you can't see past your own plane.
Yeah, you need to do roaming.
Yeah, it's that idea.
But it's
but
bigger than
don't-
that because I
yeah,
can go to
don't-
other planes.
Don't use the word plane. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Ugh.
Realm of existence.
Yeah. And I think to get any deeper into that, you and I are going to need to have a private conversation.
Also, maybe develop a whole new philosophy.
I mean, I think the framework for what this is there. We just have to hammer out the details.
Yeah, I the player understand.
Okay.
I don't know that Estella completely understands, but
And with that, Corwin, what is your passive stealth?
I don't even know what that would be.
Your stealth plus
10.
10, yeah.
12.
And what is Lycra's passive perception minus 5?
So that'd be 15.
Your passive perception is 20?
Yes.
Jesus Christ. Alright, so at about 4 o'clock in the morning, Corwin stumbles out of bed and seems to be wandering off.
Which side of the bed does he get off on?
The dog side. If he had rolled a 1, he would have stepped on Lycra.
I think there's a moment of her not really understanding and looking in the direction and putting her head back down and then bolting to her feet.
Okay.
So
He's just
wherever he
pulling on-
is,
He's pulling on his cloak and the dog's beside him.
so wherever he is, he's 20, 30 feet ahead of her.
Okay. So he heads on out of the area. And unless Lycra is going to actually try to stop him immediately.
As soon as she catches up, she doesn't tackle him or anything. She just runs up to his side, opposite side from the dog, and is like, "Is everything okay?"
Just following sound.
No problem. We'll follow the sound.
And that's where we'll pick up next week.
So Corwin is now a warlock.
Nope.
Shadow
No?
Sorcerer.
That's
Sorcerer.
cleric.
Oh, I assumed that the dog was the
Nope.
pact of the whatever it is.
What is now?
Shadow Sorcerer. That dog is the dog of the Hound of Ill Omens, renamed as the Dog of Death's Omen.
So out of character, should Liz start picking up more healing?
Probably.
Oh, this is gonna be interesting.
Sure glad I took that self-healing spell.
I'm gonna ask everyone a serious question here, just to point something out. Has Liz ever touched you?
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
Yes.
That's up to you to decide.
I know the answer. I'm letting you all think about that one.
There are healing spells that are not touch range.
Yeah, and I oddly enough added one to her when we leveled up. So
I will also point out that there are a lot of healing potions laying about.
I think just as a last thing before the session ends, Lycra very clearly attempts to figure out a way to cast Mislead on Corwin and realizes there isn't a way she can do it and looks profoundly frustrated.
Just out of curiosity, is she helicoptering him?
Oh, very much. Like, she's not holding his arm or anything, but she's
He
a
will
foot and a
tell
half.
her to back off.
She'll probably back off to 5 feet instead of a foot and a half. And if he looks over
Okay.
his shoulder and glares or anything, she'll probably do 10.
We'll deal with that next week.
Yeah. Well, it was cool, people.
Hmm.
Yeah, I wanted to change things up a bit and maybe throw some people for a loop.
No.
So we
I think-
decided to be dramatic about it.
I think this is a cool way to like change what you're playing without changing who you're playing.
Yeah, I was torn between going Undying Warlock and Shadow Sorcerer, but I decided the fact that since you already had a Warlock, it
Mhm.
would be unfair to take that uniqueness. So I decided to go with the Shadow Sorcerer thing with some themes.
Mhm.
And
Also
some
gave me a
thematically appropriate
great idea
beats.
for a story thread.
There you go.
Good stuff.
Yeah.